Today I'm going to tell you the top 3 things that I did that helped me lose 15 pounds over the last 6 months, over 50 when nothing else was working. Hi guys, it's Suzanne and I am on a 40-pound weight loss journey, over 50 years old. I tried and struggled to lose weight over this past year and even before that, and nothing else was really working. So I decided that I was going to start a low carb, low sugar, ketogenic lifestyle, and I've gotten great results from it. And so today I want to share with you 3 things that I stopped doing, and those things really helped me lose these 15 pounds. So the first thing that I did was I stopped eating out as much as I used to. So I used to eat out maybe once or twice a week, and unfortunately there's so many calories in those foods that it was just nearly impossible for me to lose any kind of weight. Now, being on a ketogenic lifestyle, I still do eat out at restaurants, but I have found alternatives for the foods that I used to eat, and I found ways to eat them in a way that is in line with the diet plan that I'm following. The plan that I'm following is really counting net carbs. I try to stay underneath 20 net carbs. I have an app called Carb Manager where I track that. It tracks my fat, carbs, protein, and calories. It's been really helpful for me in seeing what I'm eating and then also learning from how things that I eat affect the weight that I am. So some examples of restaurants that I eat at where I can eat low carb now is I love the Greek gyro at Arby's. I just simply take out the lamb's meat and the vegetables, and I'll either add it into a lettuce bowl or I will put it in a 0 net carb tortilla. You can find both of those in the grocery stores, but honestly, it tastes exactly the same to me as it does as if I had eaten the pita bread that they normally include with those gyros. Another thing that I eat out is at Chipotle. I will get a steak bowl, and instead of adding any kind of rice or beans, I will just simply ask them to put in extra lettuce. What I love about Chipotle is they're pretty accommodating. So if you ask them to put extra ingredients in and no ingredients in, they will pretty much accommodate what you ask for. So I ask for a lot of lettuce first, then I ask for double steak because I want to have a lot of protein and meat in there. I will get the cheese and I'll ask for extra cheese, and then I will also get the green pepper and the red onion mix, which is very low carb vegetables. So it's a very easy meal. I'll add on some sour cream to that. I also have some guacamole at home that I can use that's pretty low carb, but it's also high fiber, and it just is a delicious meal. So that's 2 examples of how I have changed the foods that I used to eat out into a more keto-friendly version, and that has helped me be able to stay on my plan more, and it's made me be able to lose this 15 pounds. The second thing I did is I stopped eating sugar pretty much. Now, I have to be honest, I never thought I would be the girl that would say, I quit sugar, because I don't think I could follow a diet plan if I was not able to have the treats that I wanted. But what's interesting is following this low carb plan that I follow, I don't even have cravings for sugar anymore. So I almost never eat them. And similar to eating out, I have found substitutes. I have found chocolates that have either 0 sugar in them, like the Lily's chocolates. I have these dark chocolate peanut butter cups that I eat. They're just amazing, but they're very low net carbs. They fit within my plan easily. They satisfy my sweet tooth, and it makes it very easy to stay on this plan. Also, one thing that I noticed about eating sugar when I did have maybe a treat during this journey, I noticed that I started craving more sweets. So when I follow the plan the way I want to, I don't have any cravings for sweets. But if I start eating high carb foods or sweets, I actually start craving more of those high carb sweets and foods. So because of that, I've just decided that I'm trying to cut out as much sugar as possible, and I've been able to do that by modifying all the foods that I eat on this plan. The third thing that I stopped doing was I stopped relying on willpower. So I told you before that the more sweets or high carb foods that I eat, the more that I crave. So one of the ways I don't rely on willpower is I limit eating those foods, because I know that it's going to take me a lot more willpower to not eat more of those types of foods if I'm already eating them. I've for the most part, stopped eating those high sugar, high carb foods, but also following this low carb diet, there is a built-in appetite suppressant that happens when you are in ketosis. If you follow the low carb diet for about 2 days, you're going to go into fat burning mode, ketosis, and your appetite actually decreases. For me, that meant that I don't binge anymore on food. I literally, if I stay on the plan and I don't start adding any carbs back in, I don't feel like eating. It's like a natural Ozempic. I actually don't feel like eating at all. And so that helps me a lot because then I don't have to rely on being strong enough to have to keep myself away from the foods that are throwing me off my plan. And the last way that I don't rely on willpower is if there is a certain food that I just can't keep my hands off of, and if it's in the house, I'm gonna eat too much of it, or I'm gonna keep going back to it, then I have started not having that in the house. So I started with chocolate. I stopped having regular chocolate in the house because that is more of a binge/trigger food for me. And I just know that I can't trust myself with that. And I've accepted it, that there's just gonna be certain foods that are going to be a trigger for me. And if I don't have it in the house, I don't crave it. So I have my alternatives in the house. I do still have like my chocolate alternatives like Lily's if I want a sweet treat. But what's interesting is I don't go back to those foods like I used to go back to chocolate, meaning I can have one piece of no sugar chocolate and I won't have to get back up and go get more like I did when I had regular milk chocolate in the cupboard. So you have to know yourself. You have to figure out exactly what's going to work for you and not get yourself in a situation where you're constantly having to fight your own cravings. And that's what I did. I stopped relying on willpower. So if you're struggling with losing weight like I did over 50, I did do a video how I lost my first 10 pounds within a month. I show you exactly the plan I followed for that first month. You can go ahead and watch it up here and see if anything that I share with you is helpful for you. I also have lots of videos on how to lose weight over 50 based on my experience and what has worked for me. So you can go ahead and check those out. Leave me a comment down below if you're new here. I'd love to say hi. And if you're on a weight loss journey like I am, I hope that you will join me.